Hello friends. In the last video, you had Aarti discussing about the importance of relying on TIS or taxpayer information summary for details like interest income, dividend income, etc. In this video, we're going to discuss about an exception where you should not be relying on TIS for the information. What is that? Let's discuss in the video. Welcome to Aarti's Tax Info. So the exception to this rule is the capital gains arising out of sale of shares or redemption of mutual funds. Now, what you see on screen is the TIS of a client who also happens to be a dear friend. In this TIS, as you can see, the sale of securities and units of mutual fund comes to 49,90,084, and the purchase of securities and units of mutual funds comes to 24,96,788. Now, if you go as per this screenshot, as per this test, the capital gains will come to around 25 lakhs. Now, what you have to keep in mind is that this 49,90,000 sale proceeds and the 24 odd lakhs of purchase price, this contains both shares as well as mutual funds, and the gain of 25 odd lakhs, it comprises of both short term capital gains as well as long term capital gains. But for the sake of clarity and ease of understanding for all of you, I'll be considering this as only long term capital gains arising out of sale of shares. So if you compute capital gains based on only this information, the tax that you have to pay will come to approximately 2.39 lakhs. But here comes the interesting part where the actual figures are getting revealed. I'm going to show you two more screenshots. These were shared by my client from a Zerodha account. So if you look at the first screenshot, I have selected the sell value column, and if you look at the bottom left corner, I've highlighted the total of that column, which comes to around 49,52,479. Now this is almost the same as what you can see in this, with a difference of about 40,000 rupees, which can be treated as immaterial in this case. Now let's look at the second screenshot. In this one, I've highlighted I've selected the buy value column, and if you look at the bottom left corner, the total comes to 38,92,378. Now, if you notice in TIS, the actual total shown was 24 odd lakhs, and here it is 38 odd lakhs with a difference of 14 lakhs. Now, these are the actual figures, and if you do a capital gains computation based on these figures, the capital gains tax you have to pay only comes to around 96,000, and the difference amount is about 1.4 lakhs or 1.43 lakhs to be precise. A lot of other clients of mine also had the same issue in financial year 23-24. But what's even more funny is that for this friend of mine, he had the same issue in 22-23 as well. So now it's become a routine of sorts for us to cross verify the Zerodha figures and TIS figures. But if as an auditor, as a client, if you come to me with no data at all and ask me to blindly go with TIS, there is no other option for me but to file the returns as per the figures displayed in TIS. The reason the clients come to me with no data at all is because either they are too busy to keep a track of what's happening, or they don't know the reports available in the service providers like Zerodha, where they can download reports like tax, P&L, etc. Or they just keep randomly selling and buying stuff throughout the year, and at the end of the year, they have no track of what has happened in the previous year. So finally, what are your takeaways from this video? There are 4 points to be considered. Number 1, never trust is when it comes to transactions of shares and mutual funds. Number 2, if like my friend, you are a person who keeps close track of things throughout the year and who also knows how to operate the service providers account like Zerodha, etc., download reports like tax report, tax P&L, etc., and share it with your auditor before filing the returns. Number 3, if you're not someone who can operate the online account of your service provider, keep an Excel where you keep track of things the shares and mutual funds that you purchase with the purchase date, number of units, purchase price, etc. And when you're making a redemption or you're making a sale, record that too in the Excel and share that with your auditor. And finally, the fourth and most important point, always double check your figures before filing and consult with your auditor if you have any doubts before filing on your own, or else you'll end up paying extra capital gains tax unnecessarily. Also, if wrong information like this is popping up in your AIS or TIS, you can always submit a response to the income tax department telling that these information or these figures are wrong and that you have reported the actual figures while filing your income tax returns. Hope this video was of some use. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.